at Belmont, we're a little bit newer to the instructional design kind of sphere. Over the past couple years, we really have been emphasizing kind of online graduate programs. So what comes with that then is kind of pairing up faculty with an instructional designer, like myself or a colleague that's on the team. And when we work with someone, we kind of think about the types of activities that we want a learner to go through. So we kind of call them the 4 E's. So it's like, how do you engage a learner? How do they explore content? How do you elevate it to take it to a more in-depth level? And then how do you evaluate it at the end? So when we're doing that, right, we're trying to think of how do we also create activities that are unique and just not a stale discussion board where read this article, go ahead and respond to two people. So that's where we kind of started thinking about how can AI help us with that? How can we use some of the different tools that we license to make it more interactive for students at the same time? So that's kind of how we got into this exemplar that we kind of nominated, where when we're working with faculty, how can we use their experiences or the situations that they want students to go and experience or work through, things that they maybe dealt with in their lives or just known challenges within the profession, and go from there. So that's kind of where we start, is the faculty members or the subject matter experts expertise or personal experiences. So then we take that and we have AI go and help us develop different stories. So in the ones that we came up with, like one of the examples is an empathy interview. So students are picking one of the different healthcare challenges, and then they're looking at patients or someone that they might interact with. So instead of us having to go and schedule a time to find one of those individuals, get them on campus to record it, make sure that that matches up, we can quickly kind of spin up a script with AI that would work, that's in line with what we're trying to do, and then use a tool like 11 Labs to go and create that audio so it has that realistic sound. And then we can use something like ChatGPT or Claude to create those images of the person that would work with. So now you create this kind of example that someone can interact with rather than just reading a case study that goes with it. I mean, there's a lot of tools out there to try to explore, and there's a lot of kind of, right, what different levels do you want? You don't want, when you're creating those voices or those images, you want them, right, to look as realistic or sound as realistic as possible. So what are the tools out there that you could find? Also making sure the message or the experience that you want students to have really comes through. So being sure, right, if you're using the AI to help write some of those scripts, making sure that those are detailed, because that's going to turn into word for word what someone's going to be hearing on the other end that goes with it. So that's been pretty good. I would say overall, though, it's been a relatively easy process, knock on wood, right, for that it stays like that, because I mean, with AI, you can just go and craft a lot of that stuff, and as long as the subject matter expert or the faculty is saying, yeah, that content looks sound, then we can just go and run it through all these other tools and it produces that. And that's that whole scalability piece, is with something that would take us several days or weeks to get someone on campus to have this, we can go and spin up one of just these quick activities for students to do relatively easily, and then just pop it into the course and then kind of modify as we go along. So I would say overall, it's something that we learn is just kind of exploring tools, and then just kind of really trying to find someone to be willing to roll with one of these for an activity and just see how it goes. Kind of on that evaluation, I guess I didn't touch on that. How are we evaluating? So far, I mean, since this is still pretty early on, we've just been relying a lot on feedback from faculty, right? When they hit it for the first time, they're kind of like, would this work as a learner? And they're kind of that learner as they go through it before they give it to their students. And they're usually happy or blown away with what we're able to produce pretty quickly, again, just because we're using all the technology to support it and make it interactive. So using that, and then same thing with students, we've heard that they enjoy it, or we haven't heard negative feedback. So we're assuming that means that they're liking the activities, or we'd find those out during course evaluations on how it all went.